Hey, Decathlon Gamer, and welcome back to Gladiator Manager. It's episode number 2. If you didn't do it in the last episode, and even if you did, please scroll down, click that like button. First 3 episodes, really important for the algorithm in order to pick this series up and give it a real shot at taking off. Now, I made a discovery between last episode and this episode, and it actually makes a lot of sense. There's logic behind this. Fighters with the class criminal or slave, we don't pay salaries to. They have contract lengths that are based on either their sentence or earning their freedom away from slavery. Spurious here, one of the choices. I don't know anything about him yet, but he's a criminal who has a 19-fight contract length. Would not cost us anything to sign on. Could be an option. We could turn around and let him go if we find that he's not good. So actually it wouldn't be that bad of a thing to take him on. Here, Livia is a veteran and therefore would have a regular year contract length with a 128 weekly salary. And this is where we get into that tricky part. Gnaeus, here is a slave, would have a contract length of 10 wins. I like that it's tied to wins. 10 wins. To purchase that slave, it's costing us $1,500, but the weekly salary is nothing, so it would not affect our salary budget. So if we find out that Gnaeus is worth hanging on to, as we know a little bit more about him, that's somebody that could potentially be worthwhile to pick up. Criminal wouldn't cost us anything. Their sentence, it's only 2 fights. That's it. Nothing else. So we know nothing about them. It's a very light sentence. I still think, based on what I've seen, that Metella would be one of the better ones that we could acquire right now, and for not much. The weekly salary is nothing. 500, okay, that's a little bit, but we're desperate for some fighters. And yes, okay, better. 1.5 star, 2.5 potential. That is actually better than most of what we have right now, especially considering that our second best fighter, our only 2-star fighter that we had, Primus, took a stab wound to the thigh right at the beginning of our last fight and is out wounded for the next 56 days and therefore unavailable. Not helpful for us. So our next fight is a 3v3. Primus looks okay. Nothing over 30. Alina looks okay. Leadership's high, but otherwise a 36 is their highest. I think you could almost guarantee Flavius will be one of the choices, and that's actually probably the 3 we're looking at. So highest leadership is a 53 among that group. Elia is our obvious first choice. Metella. Ooh. Now we've got a definite advantage with Elia, and Elia might be able to beat the group almost on her own. I think it's time to bring out Adnamacia, and our all-female group might have a chance in this one just because of the strength of Elia. They are missing 2 of their fighters anyway. 3 of their fighters. In fact, they have not won anything yet, this group. Alright, so we're into our first 3 versus 3 battle. And we've got 1 strong fighter and 2 weaker fighters going up against them. And so I know we're at somewhat of a disadvantage because of that. But that 1 strong fighter could carry us through if we play our cards right. Our defender, Elia, the good fighter, has an advantage against both of their barbarians. $288 damage to the left arm, completely going through the armor and getting down to taking the left arm out of our opponent. So Elia does have a significant advantage, and I think once we get through one of them, if the other 2 are still alive anyway, I think we've got a real shot at winning this fight. So Elia's dominance is definitely showing, and they'll keep it up with continuing to be aggressive. Let's go with the skewer. And then Metella is looking pretty good as well. Go ahead and get the sword cut. Animatia, not so good here. Bad start to her. She lost total control over this fight as she went for a sword cut and they dodged. That did not look good. So we're not even technically engaged yet, but they are fighting with each other from seemingly a safe distance. Success here for Metella and Elia. Again, hitting the right leg. Elia looking really good early on. And for Animatia, I think we're just looking for survival. Get some experience, not get wounded. She comes out of this thing intact. That's a good fight. Metella will look to do a little bit of damage with Metella. And most of the damage should be coming from Elia. Elia could take Decimus out of this fight quite early. She's got an advantage against barbarians, and that's who she's up against directly. Go for the jab this time. Metella. I'm going to go ahead and go defensive this time. And same with Animation. Again, we hit the torso. We block. That's going to help us get control. Oh, no. We get a slight wound? No, we're fine. We blocked it. And same with Animatia, so she gets a little bit of control back, and that's good. Alright, we have control here. Just the sword cut. We don't want to go too aggressive with Metella, as she is at a slight disadvantage. Metella, nice damage to Primus, and we get a big hit in on Decimus, causing him to bleed. And Animatia is holding up well. Keep up the aggressive attack on the skewer. Metella has a chance for a precise strike. Skill move, as she's picked up a bit of an advantage. I'm worried about the energy though, where I don't want to press my luck and suddenly have the fight turn against us. We're actually going to go defensive this time. And Animatia, we're staying defensive pretty much until Elia puts us at least at a 3-2 advantage. Take a chance on rest this time for Metella. And go back on the offensive after that. Another big strike on Decimus. Animatia. Did she take any damage there? No, she disarmed him. Nicely done. Oh my goodness, Animatia. Got a 50-50 here, but Elia, that's enough. Keep up the attack. Metella recovered some energy. Go back in, and let's let everybody go for the sword thrust. Well, no, you're not going to be aggressive. You're not capable of doing that, so just slash. Defense for Animatia. Okay, we learned a small blow on Primus, and I think that's it. He's fallen, and yes, out of the fight. And we don't yield. And we're still going to fight for now. No rest for you. I'll go right into skewer. Tella. Both of them on the attack. E5-15. Take a sword cut. Take a chance. Everybody on the attack this turn. They go for the dodge. They'll be attacked in both ways, so they can't dodge it. It's only 2 damage to the right arm, though. They're angry now, though. Can't dodge them both, and that's why we're doing the mixed attack. Blocked, disarmed. Second time now, 93-7 against Flavius. And you see, Admonitia going defensive. She is completely outmatched skill-wise, and yet she is winning this fight. But she's not inflicting any damage, is the hard part there. So, Admonitia. Let's go for the sword cut. Ow. Nutella, what just happened? Okay, so Animatia knocks the weapon away. Oh, she doesn't. Nutella's too tired. She didn't complete her attack. That's why nothing happened this time. Control, but just get the job done. Attack. There we go. Aria lands the blow. 36 to the torso on that one. Anisha. Go ahead and engage. Nutella could try to disengage here and then join the fight against Flavius. So we're going to disengage, and then Aria is going to jab again. Over there. Tella could not disengage that time. And she actually lost quite a bit of control. Both of them really have. So we can regain some of that. Angry. This is not going her way at the moment. So again with the defend. This time. We took a little damage with Admonitia, but again, he takes damage. He's going down. He's panicked. Same thing. Be aggressive. And we get multiple achievements. Fight over. Victory. We've done it. 3-0. Perfect fight. Elia with a 10 rating. Metella and Nemesha did not do good, but they did better than all three of the enemies. So our ratings were good as a whole, and we should definitely pick up some experience. And we come out of it with 6 injuries inflicted, and the damage received was only 1. Popularity goes +3. Reputation didn't come up much, unfortunately, but we take the win. And what we're going to do now is we're only a few weeks in, is we're going to go ahead and quick sim a handful of weeks and kind of see a little bit further into the season and see how well we fare through that. So we have some new recruits available every 4 weeks. I thought it might be after the 4th week, but there you go. Elia, ready to level up. Okay, that'll be interesting to see how that goes, what that amounts to. But she improved her strength and stamina. Metella improved discipline. And Nemesha, 9 initiative and 9 agility. And that's why we're getting her into these fights. Animesha also picked up 8 initiative, 8 discipline, and 6 bravery. Elia picked up 1 strength. Tiberius picked up in a few areas. That's a good week for us. That was a good week, not just in the result, but in the team's growth. Now, Primus was showing at 56 days until he was available. Well, already Adnamesha, in just a few short weeks, has the highest initiative of anybody on the team. Her bravery has now matched the lower tier of fighters. Even her strength is 3rd best on the team. So the improvement is very rapid. We just don't want to get her killed in these early days. But she's very quickly going to be our number 2, I think. Metella, Primus, Adnamesha. That's our top 4 fighters right now. Tiberius, also the other one that is improving. Tiberius has 2.5 star potential. It's not great, but we are seeing some improvement. And let's take a look at the new fighters and see if there's anybody worth signing. Aurelia Kinley. 1 star is better than a lot of what I have, and 3-star potential we've already seen could lead to some improvement. Very, very affordable. Let's go ahead and go for it. We'll sign Aurelia. Sammy has 1.5 star. Criminal, 4 fights, no cost. 1.5 stars, again, is better than a lot of what we have, so let's go ahead and recruit them. Oksana. Ooh, looks good. 11 fights and no cost. Yes, okay. Okay, we just signed an... Oh my goodness. Galter is an amazing one. I mean, we're talking gold, 4 or 5 star, 3 star at least, but way out of our price range. Way out of our price range. Anna Rendell. Slave, just the 500, but we don't know much about her, and right now that's not good ratings. Nicolina is okay and pretty affordable, but the salary, I mean, that's a lot of our salary budget right now that we have. 2,000, 10 wins, 1.5 star though. That's a lot for that. Okay, 4 stars is affordable, but the weekly salary we cannot afford. It's a much better group this week than what we started with. Rob looks okay, but I don't want to spend almost all of our budget just on them. Millie Kinsley, okay, criminal, excellent strength, 2.5 stars, and no cost at all, and available for 18 fights. Why wouldn't we? Esther Debney. Okay. Recruitment up front. I'm guessing she's actually pretty decent. I'm guessing she is definitely pretty decent. 2,500 is not that much, but we'll come back to that. That might be our other signing. Nothing there. Fred Balbus looks okay. And no cost. So we'll sign him. 2 stars. Titus is a no cost one, but probably not worth it. Now we're talking. Demisha. Looks like a pretty okay fighter. 2.5 star ability. Only costs 1,000. No salary. No. You know what? Let's finish it off. Only 1.5 star. Okay. Not as good as I was hoping. Going back to Elia. Elia is ready to level up. Let's see what happens with that. Okay, so we can get advantage. 25% advantage to attack, defense, and damage against barbarians. We already have that. So barbarian killer, 10% advantage to attack. It's an additional. So that's what we got at level 0. We have 3 choices here for level 1. So we can add 10% more advantage against barbarians. We can get guard, which is guard your adjacent allies. Or we get bravery +6. Well, that's not helpful. I think we get class. I think we go for this one. We've already got an advantage against barbarians. Why not add a bonus to our teammates? Okay, so that's perks that come with levels, which are gained from experience, but otherwise you gain attributes on a regular basis through training, through your potential, through fighting. I like this system. I do like this system. 4 yields forced, 6 injuries dealt, 69% hit rate, 100% on defense so far. Average damage dealt is 158. Look at that. Damage dealt versus taken. Average rating so far is a 10. Alright, well, suddenly we have a roster of 15. We have more than enough, but we also have the opportunity now to get rid of maybe 1 or 2 who are never going to see the light of day. So Animatia already 1.5 stars from just a half-star start. So she has grown very rapidly as we've gotten started. She didn't pick up much experience from that first fight, but she picked up skills. Ridiculously weak and no potential. We might as well free up this slot to get somebody else. Alright, so after 3 matches, we've picked up 2 wins. And we're 4-2 in those fights. So our point total sits at 4. Alright, so they have 2 that are unavailable. Marcus Morris looks like definitely one of their stronger options. Probably who they're going with. Very brave. Has a 52 leadership. Bravery and initiative would be at a bit of a disadvantage, but otherwise I think we're looking at Elia could definitely beat Marcus. This is 4v4. Our first 4v4 fight. I'm going to go ahead and use the quick sim on this one. Hopefully we don't lose anybody. And this will be the first time. We'll see what happens. Battle result 4-2. We get the win. Oksana and Millie both yielded. Elia unhurt and another 10.0 rating. Demisha with a near 10.0 rating. Spurious bled out. Does that mean they died? And then 3 yielding. Claudia put up a good fight with a 7 rating. We took 3 injuries. We inflicted 12. Huge gap on the damage dealt. And we come away with the win on that one. And Spurious So he did die. So Spurious Sanus. So we got our first kill. Elia gains 3 levels in combat. Oksana gained a bunch. Dang, that was quite a gain for Oksana. Millie gains a bit. Domisha picked up a few points. Elia ready to level up again. Looks like we were fighting in Pompeii for that one. Good thing it still exists. Hopefully we're not there when the volcano erupts, huh? Elia, Tiberius, Domisha, Esther all gaining some points in training. No fixture this week. Okay. Interesting. So we don't always have a fixture. So there's the 36 plus a 6-round cup. So it's week by week. I'm assuming is the way this is set up. Oksana, Millie, and Primus all not available. Let's see how Oksana is doing. Oh, there it is. Serious stab wound to the stomach. 55 days left there. So we are going to be without those two for a while, which is obviously unfortunate, but we won the fight, so hooray. Okay, our budget is rather small at the moment, but it's going to be a few weeks before we have new people to fight. Elia ready to level up again. It's amazing how fast that just happened. Now, I understand why Elia is not adding much in terms of attributes. It's because she's nearly at her potential, where we're seeing others who are far from their potential gaining lots of points. So we have that Barbarian Killer again. We have Eye of the Storm, a passive skill. Bonus activates when successfully defending against an opponent who has failed a discipline check. Control gain for a successful defense is doubled. So doubling our defense gained. I like that option. Hone weapons. 1 passive. Fighters attacks do a +2 base damage. Base damage is typically modified by attacker strength and defender toughness. It can also be modified by a range of other factors, like luck. So adding +2 to damage. Or gaining control. I like doubling. That sounds pretty good. Go ahead and push forward that 1 week. Oh, again, no fixture for the next week. Yeah, higher fees. Tiberius gains 3 stamina. Tella and Aurelia also gaining. Go through another week. Elia picks up a couple points. Esther picks up a few points. And we have another league match coming up. So, progress definitely being made. We're doing well in the league. We now sit in 4th place with 3 wins and a loss. We've picked up 1 kill. We're 8-4 on the fighting front. We're almost equal on points here too, with just a slight disadvantage to be in 3rd place. Things are going really well. Next fight is against Novaceum's in 6th. 2-2. They might be down a few fighters. They've taken 8 losses, so they could be down a few fighters, and that could give us a little bit of an advantage. I don't know if we're back down to a 1-on-1 as we go forward, or whether it's going to count back the other way. We've done the 1, 2, 3, 4 through that first round, and we have a couple of weeks off. I'm guessing we're probably back to a 1, 2, 3, 4 for the next 4 weeks, and then maybe a couple of weeks off. Makes sense if that's how it goes. I don't know when the cup is coming up. It's got to be on the schedule at some point. I kind of like if there was a calendar to look at to see what is your schedule coming up for the fixtures list. It'd be nice to kind of keep that in mind so you can plan ahead when to use when to use fighters, when to risk a fighter taking a wound if you have a big fight coming up against somebody you're fighting at the top of the league, those kind of things. When to know when the cup matches are coming. If you're into the cup for that season, I'm not worried about the cup. We're going up against a Division 2 foe that we're going to get blown out. We're going to want to yield almost immediately at the start of that one. So I really like how this game's going so far, though. Really, really do. If you like what you've seen so far, be sure to hit that like button. Give this channel, give this series a shot, and give this game a shot. It is a lot of fun, and it's quite affordable. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Thanks for tuning in. Have a good one. Be safe out there, and bye for now.